This is about the Independence Day, the President's address. In his 2024 Independence Day address, President Bola Tinubu highlighted the urgency of critical reforms to safeguard Nigeria's future. He stressed that Nigeria is at a crossroad with a choice to embrace necessary changes or risk collapse. In his words, and I quote, "My administration took over at a critical moment. The economy faced severe challenges and our security was highly compromised. We had to choose between reform or collapse. And we chose reform." Tinubu reported progress in combating terrorism, noting that over 300 Boko Haram and bandit commanders have been neutralized and peace has returned to many northern communities. He emphasized that restoring security would allow farmers to return to their lands, boosting food production and reducing costs. He also warned that without addressing fiscal issues, Nigeria could face collapse. However, reforms have attracted over $30 billion in foreign direct investment in the past year. All right, from the president's statement about Nigeria collapsing without necessary reforms and the fact that instead of collapse,
that is the problem. So I think I align myself with Mr. President. There is need for reform or you collapse.
No, right. But,
yes.
But then some of the policies that he has introduced as regards
it must be
reforms,
painful.
Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians are against those policies.
Are you against it or you feel pained? Against the policy, what is your own policy? If you are against the policy, bring your own idea. That is the issue. We argue, we criticize without bringing solution.
Even when they bring their own
Who has brought solution?
No, we cannot say that Nigerians have not suggested anything. We cannot say that.
What you are suffering today? Let me tell you. We'll talk about the national suffering fund. Well,
and you are aware. Definitely.
You should have to tell your best.
But how much are they even? How much do they really get to listen to? Some of these reforms that some of these suggestions, right, or recommendations that some of these Nigerians get to introduce or suggest.
Mr. President didn't just come on his own. These are blueprint experts brought along. He's just the principal. He's the driver. There are people, experts globally, world over, who brought this idea he's trying to implement. His duty is to look at that thing. Even when they get it, it's not alone. He has an executive council. He has consultants. He has experts across the world who look at the policies he's undertaking. It's not just wake one morning and introduce a policy. No, now. Governance are never done that way. Where do you have the executive council meeting?
I don't think anybody is implying that. Is anybody implying that? Is anybody implying that the president just...
You, the media, is also part of the problem.
What do you mean the media? When you say the media,
yes.
You're not saying you, because remember, I introduced you as a journalist.
I agree.
So we are the media.
Okay.
But go
we are the media.
Conversation.
We are the media. We refuse to go to developmental journalism. It's true. There's nowhere in the world where you don't have this kind of pain. But it depends on how you tell it to the world.
When you say this kind of pain,
that's the presumed pain.
A particular kind of pain, and you're saying this kind of pain is in every area in the world. Let me
tell you. There's no country that has not this kind of challenges. There's nowhere. But ours has been over years and time because it refused to reform. It refused to reform, and someone has come with courage to reform. Let me tell you again. When Jonathan was around, he wanted to reform, they fought him. He wanted to reform. He's one man that is a Democrat. Nigerians find it difficult when there is a positive changes that affects probably their pattern of life.
What do you mean Nigerians find it difficult when there are positive changes? That's an outright statement.
Yes, I've not followed this.
Because when you say positive changes, what makes it positive? People would look at the results and the impacts that it has on them.
Okay, let me tell you again. Nigerians in occasions will begin to throw money and abuse the money. Let me tell you too. There's too much money in people's hands than the bank. There's too much money.
Okay, so that's why introduction of hardship.
There are too much money.
So we have less money with people.
We are reckless with the way we spend.
That's for people who have to spend.
Spending. It's subjective.
How many people really have to spend?
See, let me tell you.
If we're going to check the ratio.
Let me ask again. Food. Everything.
Okay, let's even start from let's be very specific, because it looks like we're just being holistic, not pointing at any particular point. Let's look at the removal of subsidy. I know that when you said that the pain is something that you would definitely feel when, especially when reforms policies like this are introduced, right? So let's talk about the particular policy. Let's not just be, holistic. So with the removal of fuel subsidy now, a lot of Nigerians clamored for this removal even before it was done. And then when it was finally removed, what is the issue? What are the people protesting against? What are they talking about? If you have followed that story, you find out that what Nigerians are saying is it's beginning to look like we didn't really have a lot put in place that will get to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy. And it was just a sharp, it was just something that just happened. And before you know it, the effect that it had on Nigerians, or it's having on Nigerians, just came immediately. So you don't expect the people not to fight that. So they are not against, a lot of people are not really against the removal of subsidy, but their own argument is, what did you do? What were the measures that were put in place to make sure that when this happens, what is going on now with the hardship that Nigerians are fighting against would not be as much as it is biting at the moment?
It's okay.
So finally, yes, no, go on, please.
If the Tinubu remove subsidy, that's the question first.
Who announced
because he made that statement in the day of swearing-in ceremony. Was the subsidy there? Was it in the budget he inherited? What Nigerians are not sincere to themselves, especially the leadership. The masses have refused to work to protest. That same subsidy, was the subsidy not there in the first place? Was it in that budget? He inherited a budget that subsidy was not covered. He said it was removed. So you see, sometimes when we are talk street talk, you carry out investigation, find out what it's all about. You forgot that what we are suffering today is the sins of the past. Yes. There's no free food in Freetown. Let us face that the country is growing every day like every day that grow. 64 years. Some of us are also almost clocked near it. So as keep growing every day, things begin to change. The population as at yesterday was not the population today. The test as at yesterday is not the test today. So what we're saying, in fact, have we found out who indeed removed subsidy? Okay. Let me also align what I'm saying. There are refineries. This issue of private refinery never started today. Even Obasanjo at the time, they gave licenses to a lot of people to float private refineries. What happened to those things? Why is it now that emphasizing Dangote? Yes, there are public refineries owned by government. We also have our crude here. Even though we don't own technology, we get our crude. Sit outside. If Nigeria can build refineries outside, what's stopping from building refineries here?
Big question.
So because we have no trust, we don't believe in Nigerian economy and governance. We don't believe in Nigerian economic security. We go outside and invest and bring it back here.
So how is that the problem of the people?
Yeah, problem of the people. Let's take for instance now. In governance now. Now there are people are hustling, campaigning for election, whatever. When you go to the government, you don't steal money and come by. People say, see you, in your day, they know if you bring anything back. No shame, in the die for poverty. So you want to bring home, you want to loot. The people, the masses are the problem. Because they force the leadership to do what they're not supposed to do.
I'm not getting that part of it because...
Let me tell you.
What exactly are you referring to?
What I'm referring to is the people, when I mean the citizens themselves, also part of the problem.
We get what you said.
Yes.
But I'm just wondering what you're referring to, talking about the citizens.
Now, let's take for instance. Have you asked yourself
to do what they don't want to do?
Now, let me take for instance. This crude petroleum we are talking about, because that is the life of the system, that is the life of the economy. Isn't it? In the government center, like I asked before, have they investigated what these problems are? Because at the time they say money is missing somewhere. Have you investigated that money who missed? Where did the money go with wings? And who gave the money wings? How did the snake swallow the money? But what I say in effect that Tinubu...
So that's the people forcing the leadership to
people,
go.
Yeah, people steal because they want to, the people at home will credit them. Yeah, government, what do you bring home? Instead of asking for services and services and social amenities. We come from a community. My uncle was once one of the finest pansexes in this country. You know, incorrectable. He came out, they said, don't mind him, no get house self. Upon saying they are finished, come here, come to the top of village. You know, so others are making it. Because they didn't steal. Nigerians encourage stealing.
What? Yes, I understand that part. We cannot really take that out of the equation, right? We cannot entirely take that out of. But what you are saying is more like making brief for people who go to steal. For instance, these boys that rob around, right?
That's
so
not
just
hold
on. These boys go to rob,
yes.
And then we see them and say they have mothers at home who push them to go and, you know, make money like their mates.
Yeah.
That's understandable that happens. We're not saying that doesn't happen, but that is not an excuse to then say that the people are the ones pushing the leaders to do what they don't want to do.
Now,
because the same way those boys that went to steal have mothers at home, that's how the same boys who are not going to steal, who are responsible individuals, still have parents at home who push them to do it.
You don't seem to understand what I'm saying. But let me first see your issue of what I'm addressing.
Putting it all on the people, saying the people are the reason the leaders are doing what they are doing.
Now,
doing what they don't want to do. That is.
Take for instance now.
Putting all the blame.
Let me take you back to the protest issue. Yes. What is the direction? You and I can stay and plan it and mobilize people. What is our direction? Petroleum, as a case, we have refineries that are coming to us. There are millions of dollars, billions that have been invested in.
Is that also the fault of the people?
I'm coming, allow me. You are talking about subsidy or not subsidy, but no problem. If we have our own homegrown refinery, our refineries working, importation will stop.
Exactly.
Good. What again you should be talking about? Who is sabotaging it? You said when you mentioned about power, people are sabotaging it. If the refinery start working, why would they be stealing the money to go and import, claim that you imported fuel, you brought nothing and you collected the money? What are they importing? You bring empty receipts, come back home and say you have imported the fuel, you return back again and collect the money. So, my stand is that the government, of course, if you cannot run the refinery, privatize it.
All right.